I prune spireas differently than most shrubs, so I thought I'd do a quick little video and show you your various options for pruning this shrub. It's early spring here, and I did nothing to this in the fall. It still has last year's seed heads on here, but they come off fairly easily. So there's a couple options. Option one, which is the one I prefer, is do absolutely nothing. If you just leave this shrub alone, the seed heads will fall off, the new leaves will cover them up if they're still there. It'll grow a little bit, and you don't have to do any pruning at all. That's one great thing about spireas. Option two, you might want to make it look a little nicer and take these seed heads off. To do that, I like this tool right here, and I'll show you how to do that. Now the shrub looks nice and neat. So last year I cut this shrub back to about a height like this. So it put on about 8 to 10 inches of growth last year. And if I want to keep it at that height, I just need to reduce these back down to a lower size. The problem with doing that is if you prune this to the same size every year, you'll get too many branches in the top part here and get really congested. So the best thing to do is cut it back a little bit, so a couple inches above last year's cut, or cut farther down past last year's cut, one or the other. But don't keep cutting these things to the same height every year. They just get really congested. So option three is to cut this back a little bit. And for that I could use the hedge trimmers the way I did before, or you can use regular pruners for that. And I just grab a bunch and cut it. Now these spirea look pretty nice as a roundish bush. I don't normally prune things that way, but for this plant it seems to look alright. So I'll just go around and cut off whatever I don't want. Now while I'm doing this, I'm also having a look to see if there are any broken branches or any damaged things. Always clean up the problems first and then do the shaping. As you can see, it's a little tedious this way, so I think I'll switch the other way. Normally when I'm pruning back shrubs, I'm pretty careful to always make sure I get a cut right above a bud. But there's just too many stems on this thing to bother with that. So I just cut it like this. The shrub will do just fine. Now the fourth option with this shrub is I could cut it right back to the ground. So you only leave a couple inches of stubble at the bottom. That will keep the whole plant a little smaller, keep it more contained. But for this shrub in this location, I don't really want that, so I'm not going to show you how to do that. That's it. That's all you have to do for spireas. They're pretty easy plants to take care of.